The adventures of the new version of The Flash continued this week in the pages of Absolute Flash number 7. If you haven't been keeping up with this new take on the character, then give me a moment and I'll bring you up to speed, pun intended. The series stars lonely teenager Wally West, an army brat who travelled from state to state for his father's job in the military. Colonel Rudy West is the head of security of Fort Fox, which houses the mysterious Project Olympus. The purpose of the project was to create superpowered beings to use as weapons, people like the Rogues, Captain Cold, Captain Boomerang, Golden Glider and the Trickster, and it was run by Doctors Eleanor Thawne and Barry Allen. When Wally accidentally interrupted one of Barry's experiments, he was given speed powers that also altered his perception of time. He could relive the past, unable to change the events, and get glimpses of possible futures. One where he's a celebrated hero, and another where he's a beast. After getting his powers, he ran away in horror, accidentally dragging Barry along with him and seemingly killing him. Ashamed and not knowing what to do, Wally went on the run. The Rogues were sent to bring him in, but he was too powerful for them. When they unleashed their secret weapon, a little green psychic monkey named Grodd, they still failed because Grodd saw himself in Wally. They were kindred spirits, and Grodd helped Wally escape. In the last story, the duo were hiding out in the Iron Heights district of Central City, where they came across another former Project Olympus test subject, Mick Rory, who in this universe is a magma monster named Heatwave. Wally drained Heatwave's powers, seemingly returning him to normal, but a curious thing happened afterwards. He found himself in a strange, dark place and a sinister voice called out to him. Was it a hallucination or a glimpse at his future? Colonel West, meanwhile, frustrated at the lack of progress his team were making, explored the depths of Fort Fox and discovered what appears to be aliens in stasis. Eleanor Thawne didn't take kindly to this intrusion and had him taken away. And that's where we're at the start of this issue, with Wally and Grodd still on the run. They're now in Kindville, Missouri, as a storm approaches. Grodd is clearly unsettled by the thunder and lightning, and he says it's not just a normal storm. And it's worth noting that Wally takes the more supportive role. Usually it's Grodd reassuring Wally about his insecurities, telling him that he can do it, and that he doesn't need to be afraid. But here it's Wally telling Grodd not to worry, which indicates how reciprocal their friendship is. They're both famished and don't have any money. Wally tries asking for food, but unsurprisingly he doesn't get very far. So he's forced to resort to shoplifting and promises to find a way to pay them back later on. He uses his speed powers to gather up as much food as he can carry, but he's so weak from hunger that he passes out. When he comes to, he finds himself in jail, and the local police really don't know what to make of him in his peculiar outfit. Grodd had managed to sneak away, given how they reacted to a red and black leather suit. Just imagine how they'd react to a little green monkey with an exposed brain. But Wally doesn't have too long to consider his position because the Rogues arrive to break him out. They found him because Grodd has a tracker embedded in him, and they tell Wally, which completely gives away their advantage. Wally agrees to go with them back to Fort Fox on the condition that they help him find Grodd though. He's out there in an intense storm, likely terrified. While looking for Grodd, Wally stumbles upon the cause of the massive storm, the absolute version of the Weather Wizard. And here, he actually looks a little bit what you might imagine a wizard to look like, with long grey hair and a massive beard, a bit like Gandalf. I'm not sure why this design choice amuses me so. I guess it's because the mainline Weather Wizard is just a dude with a piece of tech that allows him to control the weather, and he has a massive wing collar. Given how monstrous Heatwave was, I was thinking he might be a living storm or, something like that. But no, he's an angry old man wandering around barefoot in the wilderness. While Wally tries to relate to him by saying that he is also the result of Project Olympus, the Weather Wizard misunderstands him, thinking that the Flash has been sent to bring him in. All Wally cares about is getting Grodd back, and Grodd cowers because of the bad storm. I assume what Grodd means is that the Weather Wizard isn't a misunderstood monster, he's just an angry man. I get the sense that he didn't necessarily want to hurt anyone, given that he keeps telling Wally to stay down, but he isn't afraid of violence. His first lightning strike hurts Wally, but Wally realises that he can absorb the lightning and take power from it, and once he's at full strength, he makes short work of the Weather Wizard. With the storm cleared, the Rogues are able to make their approach, and Wally makes it clear that now he's back at full strength, he has no intentions of going back to Fort Fox with them. But the surprising thing is that the Rogues also have no intention of going back there either. Captain Cold says that they are the weapons, they have the power, they can do what they want, and they want Flash, and presumably Grodd, to join them. So, lots takes place in this issue, and everything moved at a pretty rapid pace, which is quite fitting given that this is a comic book about the fastest man alive. Having the rogues go rogue shouldn't be at all surprising given that they were formerly soldiers that were court-martialed for going off and doing their own thing, seemingly accepting a bribe. It also fits in with the overall theme of the Absolute Universe, where traditionally villainous characters have been reframed in a more positive light, sometimes serving as allies to the hero. We've seen Batman's support network consisting of Waylon Jones, Harvey Dent, Oswald Cobblepot and Edward Nygma in Absolute Batman, and Barbara Minerva is running around Wonder Woman's home in Absolute Wonder Woman. Given that the Flash is on the run and has struggled on his own, will he find success with the rogues? Only time will tell. Absolute Flash number 7 is available now from all good comic shops. If you are based in the UK and don't have a comic shop near you, then you might want to use my affiliate link with the UK's biggest comic retailer, Forbidden Planet. I have included a link in this video's description. Alternatively, if the idea of hoarding a collection of comic books fills you with dread, you do not want to know how many Deadpool Batman variant covers I pre-ordered this week, you may want to try getting a digital copy of the issue from Amazon. I also have an affiliate link with them, which you could use to help my channel out. This is included in the video's description. To those that have read this issue, what did you think? So, first of all, I need to issue a correction from some of my earlier videos about this series. Their version of the Trickster is a woman, and I just didn't notice, so my bad. Did anyone else make this mistake, or am I just dim? Answers on a postcard, please. When Wally took out Heatwave in the last issue, the soldiers from Fort Fox were very quick to take him in. But what about the Weather Wizard? Did Wally just knock him out and leave him there? I assume he's still got his powers. Maybe he'll be coming along with Wally and the Rogues. Maybe we'll find out next issue. And finally, I noted that the subplot about Colonel West getting caught by Dr. Thawne didn't get a lot of attention in this issue. She was prepared to kill him, but when he said he would do anything to help get Wally back, she changed her tune. I guess that indicates how important the Flash is to her objective. To contact God. Now, the creator of this universe is Darkseid, so I have to assume that she wants to make a connection to him, and I think we can be pretty certain that when Darkseid answers her call, things will not go well for anyone. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Next time. I'll be back next week with a new video about Absolute Wonder Woman 12, the final part of the Area 41 storyline. Diana has rescued many of the denizens of the labyrinth and now has to battle Queen Clea. But don't worry, she's got a fancy new trident, which I'm sure will make all the difference. Hope to see you then.